What is up, guys? Today we're back inside of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and today we're going to be checking out which of the pirate faction units are the best. So we're just going to hop right into it and check out the flintlocks. So the flintlocks, they have two flintlocks, as you would expect, and as we're about to see in a moment, they actually drop those flintlocks after they shoot, and then they just start melee striking. So we're going to see how that works in just a second. As you can see, a lot of the clubbers die, and then they drop their flintlocks and just start hitting the clubbers with their fists, and then they quickly get outnumbered because, surprisingly or not, hitting someone with your fist is not that great of an attack. So yeah, a bunch of the clubbers remain, only like only one flintlock remains now, and they're dead. So yeah, this is not looking that good for the flintlock so far. But if we have a bunch of range units, which cost a little bit more, it's at 35 versus 29. So as you can see, a few of the flintlocks die immediately, but most of the spear throwers die right away as well. So they're pretty much all dead. The spear throwers, I mean, not the flintlocks. And yep, spear throwers are pretty dead now. And yeah, that's the battle. So the flintlocks are very good against the ranged units, but not so much against melee units. Next we have our Blunderbuss unit, and just like the cactus, which we'll see in a moment, they can actually block projectiles. As you can see, none of them died. They got knocked back, but not dead. So basically, if any projectile hits the barrel part of their armor, then they won't take any damage to the projectile. However, what we're going to see in a minute after this battle is over is that not only are their attacks kind of weak, the barrel armor does not protect against melee hits. So they won. I think we all expected that. Now we're going to have the Squires, and we're only going to have a few of them. We'll just have 26. And I think that the Blunderbuss will still win, just because of how they have guns. But as you can see, the barrel armor does not do well against swords or any other form of melee attack. So I would not suggest using this to defeat melee units, unless there's ranged units and you need this as a distraction. Then you're kind of just sacrificing your Blunderbuss to the melee units, though. But yeah, they do pretty well. As you can see, the Squires are swarming up, even though the Blunderbuss had the money advantage. It really did not matter. So I'm just gonna kill that one. He's into the water now. There's only 4 Squires remaining. However, there's only one Blunderbuss remaining. So unless he kills all of them, which he did not, he only killed one. Nope, he didn't kill any of them. Yep, he's dead. So yep, it's not that great against ranged units, or melee units, I mean. Next we have our next unit, which is the bomb thrower, and the bomb thrower is actually rather interesting because we're going to use the Blunderbuss as an example for the ranged units. And the reason why is because, like I just said, they have immunity to projectiles, and that goes for the same as bombs. However, the bombs have splash damage, which they are not immune to. So if you have this unit and you're faced against a bunch of Blunderbuss, then just use this unit or any other explosive unit, and then pretty much you're good. As you can see, there's a ton of the bomb throwers left. Unfortunately, I have friendly fire on, so the bombs from their death will still do a little bit. And the bombs hitting them also do a tiny bit of damage. The barrel armor does protect against that, but if it hits one of the unit pieces, like if it hits the blue part of the unit, then they'll still take damage to it. So yeah, against ranged units that are short range, they're pretty good. Next we're going to have the melee units, and we're just going to have 40 Squires for this one. They're pretty much all going to group up because of how confined the bomb throwers are, but it really will not matter because it appears that the bomb throwers just want to get this over with, so they're kind of just going to nuke the area. And yep, the Squires are pretty much dead already. So yeah, it's pretty good against melee units as well. However, the reason that I specified it was good against short range units is because it's not good against long range units. And if we have just spear throwers, you'll see why. As you can see, the spear throwers will immediately throw their attacks, their spears. However, the bomb thrower sometimes predicts where a unit is going to go, so it throws in front of the unit. As we can see right here, it throws the bomb in front of the unit rather than at the unit. So since they're not ranged units, they won't walk into the explosion. So yeah, you just have to be aware of that. So yeah, they aren't good against long range units, but they're pretty much good against everything else. So we're going to head on to our next unit, which is the Harpooner. And the Harpooner, it's kind of underwhelming in my opinion. I don't know if it's just me, but if we have a high health unit, I believe that it can take them down, because it kind of does stop attacks. As you can see, he's still attacking, but his attacks are less coordinated, so not as much damage is dealt. So, yep, 3 of them are dead. So this isn't looking that good for the Harpooners. This is bad, or not. Maybe he'll just die immediately. Okay. So yeah, 5 of them died, 3 of them remained. So it can do it can kind of do good against high health units. However, there's still better options that you could use, such as the ballista. The ballista you would only need 1 of, so then you're saving a ton of money. So we're gonna try out a group of melee units. It appears that with the clubbers, the harpoons immediately kill them. If the unit is not immediately killed, or the unit just gets up to the harpooners, they also have a kick attack, which is where they kick the unit, and then somehow that does more damage than a harpoon. I don't understand the logic of that, but okay. And yeah, only 2 of them died for the harpooners, so they still won that one. Next up, we have the range units. So we're going to see how good it does against this. So immediately, it appears that the spear throwers are kind of getting annihilated. However, some of the harpooners are dying, which is good because then there's less harpoons. It appears that one of the harpooners is trying to fire backwards. I don't know why he was doing that, but that cost them the game. So, yeah, range units, they don't do well with. High health units, they're decent with, and then groups of units they're also decent with. Anyways, we have our next unit, which is the Canon. We're going to have 4 of them, and this is one of the examples of a really good boss killer. So we're going to have it in Ice Giant versus 4 cannons, so it's 4,000 versus 6,000. It's nowhere near fair. However, what you'll see in a sec is that the Ice Giant is actually getting drained really fast. Now, they're going to not win because of how they weren't spaced out, so I'm going to reset that and space them out more. But as you saw there before I ended the battle, they were actually doing pretty good. Like, they had him down halfway. So we're going to have them spaced out a little bit more. For some reason, one of them is going to shoot the boat. I don't know why. I don't think that gives them an advantage, but maybe it does. So, yep, the one who shoots the boat shoots his final shot, and then his friend is still alive. His friend gets punched into the dirt, or the sand in this case. And as you can see, 2 of them remain, and then the Ice Giant is just on his knees, dead. So yeah, this is really good against bosses. However, as you would expect, if a unit is good at bosses, it's typically not good at groups or range units. So we're going to just have a few Squires. is 2100 versus 4000. So yeah, they don't really do that well against a bunch of Squires. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of them are still remaining. There's only 2 of the cannons left. Problem is that if the units get close, then the cannon doesn't know what to hit. So basically, if you have 4 Squires or 4 of any unit that gets up to the cannon, then basically the cannons are done for. So yeah, the cannon's not that great against ranged units, or not ranged units, melee units. And as I already predicted, with that last statement, they're probably not that great with ranged units, as we can see here. One of the archers is taking a stroll, I don't know why. But yep, the cannon's dead. 1 arrow and it's gone. So yeah, it's good against bosses or high health units, but not so much with groups of units. Yeah, don't use it unless there's high health units. So now we have the captains, and the captains, we're going to put them against a mammoth to see how well they do. It's about even. It's a little bit less money on the mammoth side, but I think that the mammoth will still be able to pull it off because it can kind of hit both at once because of the stomping of its feet. However, it appears the captains will actually win this. Neither of them died, which is pretty good. Now we're going to face them off against a group of melee units. So far we already know that they're pretty good at high health units, but we're going to see a group of melee units. So, yep, yeah, one of them had fallen and couldn't get up. Okay. So, yeah, it appears that because of their shotgun attack, the shotgun pistol is what I'm gonna call it, they kind of destroy the melee units. They also kind of just spam their attacks and then just move around the clubbers, and then they pretty much win that way. So yeah, against groups of melee units, they do pretty good. Next we're going to have the ranged units, and the ranged units, I think they can actually take the captains down. So, yep, if they didn't have terrible accuracy, they would do a lot better, but as you can see, one of them is already dead. So the captain is doing as much damage as he possibly can. He's somehow in the matrix and just dodging every single spear. I don't know how he's doing this. It's very concerning, but he can't do it forever, and he eventually dies. So, yeah, against a bunch of ranged units, not that great. It kind of just dies. Lastly, we have the Pirate Queen, and this is one of the best units in the game in most people's opinion. But we'll see if it's that good or if it's not that good. So we're going to have it against a ton of archers. As we can see already, one of them is dead. So yeah, it's not looking that good for the Pirate Queen already. However, they do have 2 cutlasses, but we won't be able to see them use it because a bunch of archers just destroyed them. So yeah, against archers, it appears that they're not that good just because of how much they cost. However, we're going to have Squires now, and this should allow them to do off the special attack. So they have their 2 cutlasses, and they walk up, they slice, and then after about 6 seconds, if they aren't dead, then they do a bomb spin, and then they jump up into the air, and then they don't get hit by their own bombs. It's a very tactical move. And then they kind of destroy everything else. So yeah, that's pretty much the Pirate Queen. So not good against ranged units, but really good against melee units. So it's time for the final verdict. Flintlock, it's decent. I would rate it like half good, half bad. Blunderbuss, it's a little bit better than Flintlocks. Bomb Thrower, borderline overpowered. Harpooner, kind of useless. Canon, also pretty overpowered. Captain, good for tanking, but not really against ranged units, especially. And then Pirate Queen, pretty unique. It can destroy groups very well. I would say it's a good. So yep, Canon and Bomb Thrower, for me, are definitely the strongest units in this faction. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the news channel, or you want to see some more Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. Everybody, peace out.